Let's talk about pre-exam and exam day strategies. Create chapter-wise notes for subjects like history, geography, physics, and chemistry. You still have a bit of time. This is important for a last-minute revision. Find out a method that works for you. Maybe you can delegate different chapter notes among your friends, and all of you can club resources later. Flowcharts and tables can also help simplify things. We'll be posting a couple of these later. Try to solve at least one prelim paper from a different school every couple of days. I'd advise you to get up at 8 every day and write the paper at 11 o'clock so your body grows accustomed to this schedule and environment, and it'll help you recollect things better on the test day. Right before the exam, studying is way more important than sleep. I know people always say you've got to be well rested or you'll tank and you'll crash in the exam. But guys, I've always found that this last minute cramming the day before, it really does help me retain information into the next day. Hopefully at this point, you'll just be revising and not learning. But that being said, try to get at least 4 hours of sleep, okay? And 6 hours for the exams you want to have a sharp mind on, which would be math and physics. Of course, this is purely up to you. If you feel like you've revised enough, then go ahead, get those 8 hours of sleep. Let's look at the worst case. You're up at 2 a.m. You have 10 chapters left. What do? You don't sleep. Finish half of them, take 2 more hours, get less sleep, but finish, and do the rest in the morning. There's actually some studies that say that getting less than 2 hours of sleep keeps you alert the next day because your body thinks that you're taking a nap. But again, this is a last resort. I don't recommend this. The first exam tip I want to talk about is the reading time. Guys, reading time is gold. In those crucial minutes, you've got to try and scan as many questions as possible, okay? Especially for time crunch subjects like math or Hindi. Solve all the MCQs you can in the reading time. Make a small underline or take the right answer. I know you're thinking, but they're so strict about not writing anything on the paper, especially in our prelims, right? But it's not true. Only our school teachers were strict about this. The board and vigilators either don't notice or don't care. So you can get away with tiny annotations. Just don't overdo it. In English and Hindi, use reading time to look at the comprehension passages. Find synonyms or underline the key parts for the précis. One of the most important points is how you manage time on the paper. I feel like biochem and social sciences were all fairly objective and short answer type, so I didn't struggle to finish the paper. But math, Hindi, and physics tended to be on the longer side because of the sums and numericals and long answer type, right? So what you want to do in these subjects is start speed writing from the beginning itself, okay? Keep telling yourself time gets over maybe half an hour before to give you enough revision time. Now for revision, right? I know you've heard this a lot, but I cannot emphasize how important revision is. And I don't mean passive, just making sure you've got all the question numbers written down on the answer script. You haven't skipped anything. No, you have to scrutinize every possible word and make sure there's absolutely no scope for the examiner to cut marks. Add as many points as you want because they are going to give you marks for having the right answer somewhere in there, except English maybe. And make sure to underline keywords in your answers. It helps examiners catch the important points, and small letters are often overlooked if key terms are correct, so make sure to do this. That wraps up our first video on tips. Stay tuned for the next one.